welcome back to DBD Sports Show on February 27th, 2021. Before we start today, we're going to give it a round of applause. A lot of big news today in the sports world, some breaking news. Derry, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I'll start us off. Hi everyone, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys have a good day today. And we just wanted to start today's show with just sending well wishes to Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, the golf legend, had a car accident in Los Angeles on Tuesday. He had to undergo a long surgical procedure due to injuries to his right leg. We just wanted to send well wishes to Tiger and his family. Tiger Woods has been an inspiration to the sports world, not even just people who play golf, just everyone who even wants to play sports, especially those who are African American. Gives us all inspiration to strive to be greater, and we know he's gonna come back better than ever. He's always shown throughout his career that adversity is never something that can stop him. So we want to wish Tiger Woods good wishes, and we can't wait to see him hopefully win another major again, and he's gonna be back better than ever.
How old is he? 45? Is he 45?
Yep.
45.
His son.
Yes, he's 45.
His son is amazing.
Stud.
Did you see him hitting?
Yeah.
Did you see him hitting
together?
him?
Yep.
That was amazing. Do you think he's gonna compete again, or?
I honestly hope so, because he's had such a decorated career.
I don't think it'll be. Say he does win another. Say he does win another golf tournament. I don't think it's gonna be the Masters. Yeah. I don't, because especially at 45, yes, he's probably the greatest golfer of all time. But I don't think he'll be able to go back to the Masters after this traumatic accident. Because is it going to be like Alex Smith with the leg injuries? Because at first
that's one thing they were worried about.
Exactly, because with the bacterial infections. But so he was supposed to be golfing with, who was it? Dwayne Wade?
He came from golfing.
He came from golfing with Dwayne Wade. Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing he was heading home heading to a shoot, because he had like a bunch of luggage with him in the car and stuff. And so, what was it, 7:12 in the morning? I believe that car accident happened at 7:12, or the first responders were called at 7:12. But it was 30 miles south of downtown LA, and he was very, very lucky to be alive. They had to get the jaws of life. To even pry him out of the vehicle was a very, very scary sight. I saw some helicopter views of it. The one thing, so they said it was a very windy road, also a very straight road type of thing. And I believe you were saying something with the speed limit. What were we saying with the speed limit?
Yeah, so the guy on ESPN, I believe it was, he actually drove down the street that it happened on that day, a little bit after it happened. And he said it's very easy to lose track of how fast you're going because it's very windy. Yep. Mm-hmm. So that definitely could be a reason of how this happened.
They said, so from the video of what it was, usually say if somebody hits like a guardrail or something like that, they're going to go back. They're going to at least try and hit the brakes, try and stop themselves. There was no skid marks at all on the road. Yep. So I don't know if, say, something scared him and he swerved out of the way and he lost control, or if it most likely was not purposeful, but there was no skid marks at all on the road. So we don't know what that means, but he went. So it was a 2-lane road, I believe, on each side, embankment in the middle, and then another 2 lanes. And then I believe it dipped down and there was a ton of trees. So he went 2 lanes over, down an embankment. There was no guardrails. Back up, went onto oncoming traffic, went back down, went through the trees, and then rolled over. It's scary sight.
Prayers to Tiger.
One of the greatest.
Hope he can get
probably the greatest golfer of all time. Hopefully he returns to the PGA Tour scene. We're not sure. But, all right, talking about greatest of all time, we're going to talk about some of the greatest winners.
Speaking about the greatest.
We're going to be talking
about him.
You think he's the greatest?
No.
So we're going to be talking about the greatest winners of all time, not sports, of course sports, not team-based, just solely individual winners. Derry, you want to go first? Go from 5 to 1.
Yeah, I want to go first. So, I'll start from 5 to 1. This is a very hard list. The three of us were really grinding this one all week. This is a hard one. There's so many good winners all across sports.
10 minutes ago to finish our lists.
Right? And honestly, this could go in any order, but my personal list, I have Bill Russell at 5. So some people wouldn't even include him at all, but I feel like I have to include him. You're talking about a guy who's 11-time champ, 5-time MVP, 12-time All-Star. He even won 2 of his 11 championships as a player coach, so that's pretty cool. So the only diminish that the reason why I have him 5 is obviously back then there wasn't as many teams.
Right.
But I have to have him on this list because back then too they had their own obstacles. So he was a prominent leader in the civil rights movement as well, and he really went through a lot like as he's playing, like a lot of racism that even we don't experience as much today. So like he's someone who definitely paved the way, and he's a winner in his own right, and he's definitely a legend. At number 4, I have TB12 Tom Brady, 7-time Super Bowl champ, 3-time MVP, 5-time Super Bowl MVP. He just won a ring at 43. I
Terrible.
mean, defying odds.
I'm so
Defying
disappointed.
odds.
I'm so disappointed in you, bro. Continue.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Continue.
He has a career record of 230 and 69. So he's won 77% of his games. Incredible. A career 581 to 191 touchdown to interception ratio. So yeah, this guy's just a legend. He keeps defying like what age is. Like if time can even catch up to him, he's just
Remember Tom first time
better.
was on a
He's playing
Facebook?
just as good as he ever had. Yup, like he's just doing amazing things, and like I don't know at this point, who knows when he's gonna retire? Maybe 50. Like who knows? I can't even count anything out at this point. Number 3, I got Serena Williams. She got 23 Grand Slam titles. She was number 1 in the world at one point for 186 straight weeks. That's a very long time. So, and she also has been number 1 for 312 weeks in total. She has a career record of 851 and to 448 in singles. So she's won 85% of her matches, and I hope she can get another Grand Slam soon. It's been a little longer of a process to get
Who
another
keeps
one
beating her?
ever since she was
Naomi
pregnant.
Osaka, right?
Yeah.
Naomi Osaka has been a thorn in her
Isn't
side.
she Corday's girlfriend?
Serena keeps improving.
Are they still dating?
Yeah, she is. Yes, they're still dating. Yeah, and they're a very good couple. She's another good athlete. She could end up on this list one day too because she's been dominating. But Serena's definitely third on my list.
Honorable mention.
Number 2, I got Michael Jordan. Okay. Michael Jordan. So I got to put Michael Jordan because he's just a cultural icon. You're talking about a guy who has 6 rings, 6 Finals MVPs, 14-time All-Star, 10-time All-NBA first team. The thing is too about MJ, he's never lost a final series. Nor has a final series he's played in ever gone to Game 7. He also has career averages of 30.1 points per game. So this guy is he's like the icon of basketball. He's even one of the biggest icons to ever play any sport. He's just a legend. Number 1, I got Muhammad Ali. In 61 fights, he only lost 5, and he won 56, and 37 of those wins were by knockout. He also dealt with racism. He was also just like Bill, a big civil rights icon. He also started his career with 31 straight wins. So this guy did this in a time too, like when we didn't have as much help to like really get athletes to the next level. So this is just pure work, pure determination. Set a good example for like hard work for all the athletes decades past, and he's just like a very good role model for everyone, and he's just like the definition of what working hard can really do.
So go through your list, 5 through 1.
That's my 5.
5 through 1.
Yeah, that was 5 through 1.
No, but who were the 5 through 1? Say it again.
Oh, so Bill Russell was 5, Tom Brady was 4, Serena Williams was 3, Michael Jordan was 2, and Muhammad Ali was 1.
All right, Brady, you want to go?
Yep, I'll go. All right, so coming in at All right, first I'm going to say some honorable mentions. They're not on my personal list, but I really do think they could be in the top 5. So I'm going Muhammad Ali. Definitely.
Wow.
He's not in my top 5.
Okay.
I don't know. I just couldn't. All right, so my number 5, we're going to put Wayne Gretzky at number 5.
Okay.
A 4-time champ, 9-time MVP. He won 8 MVPs in a row. In a row. That's nuts. All right, at number 4, I got Serena Williams. 23 Grand Slam titles. One of the best of all time. It speaks for itself. All right, at number 3, I got Bill Russell. 11-time champ. 2 as a player coach. 5 MVPs. Number 2, I'm going to go MJ. 6 rings, 6 MVPs, 5 regular season MVPs. Defensive player of the year. Speaks for itself.
Okay.
Now.
Dominant.
Number 1.
I don't even got to say his name. I'm not saying his name. 7 rings.
Yeah.
230 and 69.
Yeah.
Speaks, bro. He won 77% of his games. It speaks for itself. I don't have to say anything more.
Okay.
Enough. That's it.
That's it?
Go ahead.
So you got Wayne Gretzky,
Wayne Gretzky.
Serena Williams,
Yep.
Bill Russell,
Yep.
Michael Jordan, TB12. So my number 5 might upset Brady a little bit. I have Tom Brady number 5.
That's the worst sports take I've ever heard of.
Let me tell you why. Tom Brady, yes, great. 7 rings, 10 appearances, 91,653 career passing yards. He's a great, undoubtedly the greatest football player of all time. And he can turn on whenever he wants to. But with the other people on my list, he is the most team-oriented athlete on my list. So I can't put him higher than 5. He's number 1 in NFL, football, anything for football.
He's the best.
He is number 1. He is the best of all time for football.
Any sport.
Number 4, Michael Phelps.
Okay.
I got Michael Phelps.
That's fair. That's
most decorated Olympian of all time.
That's fair.
He retired in Rio in 2016. At 2016, he won 1 silver medal and 5 gold medals just in that one Olympic run. In 2016, the year he retired, his downfall year, his retirement year, he won 5 golds in 1 Olympics. Set 39 world records, and overall has 23 gold medals, 13 individual gold, 3 silvers, 2 bronze. And yeah, Michael Phelps is probably worldwide the most known swimmer of all time. Of all time, and you know it. You know it.
Dude.
Yep.
All right, here's where it gets a little interesting. Number 3, I got Rocky Marciano. Local, hometown hero.
Ooh.
Brockton Blockbuster, as they used to call him. 49-0.
Respect it.
49-0. And again, boxing is probably the most, the most individual sport there is. It's you versus one guy. Yes, tennis is you versus another person on the court, but it doesn't play the amount of fatigue on your body as boxing does. You're literally getting beat up and trying to fight back for however many rounds that fight is. All right, number 2, I got Muhammad Ali. 56-5, 37 knockouts, like Daryl was saying. Again, social activist. That's obviously why I was going to put Rocky Marciano 2, just because he never lost. But I had to put Muhammad Ali over Rocky Marciano just because of the stuff he did outside of the ring as well. Defended title 19 times. Won gold in Rome in 1960, which also boosted him above Rocky Marciano because he has the Olympic gold under his belt. And lost 1 fight by knockout. Just 1 fight by a knockout. All right, number 1, Floyd Money Mayweather. He is literally the best winner of all time. 50-0, never lost 1 fight. He is literally the best winner of all time. Yes, he can barely know how to read. Probably can't read 1 Harry Potter book.
I can't believe you put Michael Phelps over Tom Brady.
Michael Phelps?
Dude,
Tom Brady, yes. Tom Brady has 7 rings.
Michael Phelps?
Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps?
has... Let me go back. Michael Phelps has just 23 golds. Tom Brady, yes, has 7 rings, and I agree, it is very... That's why
Tom Brady went
hold on.
24.
Let me go to my honorable mentions. Michael Jordan, obviously LeBron. LeBron's a toss-up. Serena, Tiger, Usain Bolt, who is not talked about that much. He's probably one of the greatest sprinters of all time.
I respect it.
And I have Bill Russell. I was going to put Bill Russell at my 5. I didn't have Rocky Marciano in there at first because not many people think about him like that much. But I just had to bump out Bill Russell just because how little the teams were at that time when he was dominating. But Michael Phelps, the only reason I respect it. I was gonna put Tom Brady over Michael Phelps just because like the hometown bias, but I couldn't. Michael Phelps is the greatest. Yeah, he's the greatest Olympian of all time. Yeah, the greatest.
All right,
There's
no question about it.
Okay.
I give it up.
Number 5, Tom Brady. Number 4, Michael Phelps. Number 3, Rocky Marciano. Number 2, Muhammad Ali. And number 1, I got Floyd Money Mayweather. So, Daryl, who's your number 1? Who's your number 1?
Oh, so my number 1 was Muhammad Ali.
So, Muhammad Ali.
Tom
Brady. Dude. The only...
You have him at 5.
Exactly, because I can't put him as the most winning person if he has lost in the biggest stage. I can't. What? I can't put Tom Brady at number 1 if he has if the greatest. If I'm gonna say somebody is the no, it's for today. If I put somebody as the
who gives Tom Brady?
No, if I put somebody as the greatest winners of all time, I don't want them losing for them to be my number 1.
God. All right. I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Why? No, go on. He's
a GOAT.
Prove your point.
Dude, you can't lose if you don't go to him. He's gone to 10.
I understand.
He's gone to 10.
I understand.
Oh my
my god. No.
And he just won off 43 years old.
and-
That's what
I
The
understand.
Buccaneers were 7-9. What do you mean?
I know. He flipped him. Listen. He is. That's why I even have him on my list. I didn't even have to put him on my list.
Oh my God.
I didn't even have to put him on my list.
That's all you gotta say. Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps is.
Why
over
don't
Tom
you
Brady.
go on a
Yes, he
Head and
is.
Shoulders commercial or something? I don't know.
What is he, Pat Mahomes?
All right.
Pat Mahomes, Troy Polamalu? No, I can't.
Hey, was he on a Head and Shoulders commercial?
Who?
Michael Phelps?
Was he?
I don't know.
Dude, do you know?
Though then my joke has no content to it.
Bro, I don't know. Bro, remember the video of Michael Phelps sitting like this with his
Yeah.
headphones on?
Oh,
Remember
it's a
that?
Bose commercial. Is it?
No,
don't
it wasn't a commercial. It was just at the Olympics.
Oh,
He was
yeah,
just
yeah,
sitting
yeah.
there in the back,
Yeah.
headphones on, ready to go, ready to come back in the relays. I don't remember the distance in swimming. I don't know swimming like that.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, that is like the equivalent to Tom Brady with his head down, looking at the Microsoft Surface Pro on the sideline. But listen, I can't put Tom Brady over Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps, yes, Tom Brady has won in the NFL, which is also just in the United States. Michael Phelps has won at world stages with the best athletes on the planet. On the planet, I had to put Michael Phelps over Tom Brady.
All right. Well, just
That's a fair list,
so
Tom.
everyone knows, he was in a Head and Shoulders commercial.
He was?
He was.
What year?
2012.
15?
2012.
2012.
Let's go.
Oh, so
Let's go.
okay. What are the Olympics going to be? What
Next
20,
year,
2022?
this year, I think,
Or
actually.
2021? Because the trials happening in Oregon this year in 2021 at Hayward. I think so. So I think where's it going to be? Tokyo,
I don't know.
2022.
Yeah.
I think so.
I only know where the Super Bowls are. 'Cause-
All right. So I didn't put any. Where's it going to be next year? LA, right? SoFi.
Yeah. Yep. I
So
don't know
I
where
didn't-
the Olympics are going to be, though.
We should try and go.
Nah. All right, so
So you want to go?
Daryl, who do you have for an All-Star snub?
We'll transition to the NBA All Star.
Yep. All-Star snub.
When hold on, real quick. When is All Star Week? Is it 2 weeks?
Next.
Daryl
would know this better. Than me.
I think next
it
week
next
or
week?
the week
Yeah.
after.
Okay. All right, so go on.
Yeah, it's coming up. Sorry. So my All-Star snub. Before I even say like my All-Star snub, I just want to say the fact that Devin Booker wasn't originally like
Disrespected.
So
All-Star is just
disrespectful.
beyond disrespectful. Like
So
that's just beyond disrespectful. But like my All-Star snub is Jimmy Butler. So Jimmy Butler currently averages 20 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 7.8 assists. So he's also had 4 triple doubles in his last 10 games. And since he's returned from COVID, the Heat have been 10-5, and they're currently on a 5-game win streak.
Weren't they?
And he actually
Weren't
just
they 8-0 in the bubble, right?
Mhm.
D-Book with the Suns.
Oh, the Suns were actually 8-1. Yeah, the Suns were 8-1.
Sorry, go on.
But yeah, so Jimmy actually just dropped 38, 10, and 8 against the Utah
Yeah.
Jazz. And the Utah Jazz are arguably the best team in the league right now. And he put on a great performance. And to put that in context, the Jazz just smacked the Lakers and he took care of the Jazz the other day. So that showed what Jimmy Butler can do. I understand Jimmy Butler probably wasn't in
Could the Heat be favorites out of the East then?
going on.
Because technically, if the Jazz beat the Lakers and the Miami beat the Jazz, because they did this whole thing with the Jets. The Jets beat the Patriots beat the Raiders beat the Chiefs. So technically, the Jets beat the Chiefs. Is this the same type of scenario with the Heat?
Hey,
Or are the Heat
but in all
just
seriousness, No, in all seriousness, if it wasn't for the Nets, I'd still like favor towards the Heat. Like everyone kind of written them off. And
What seed are they right now?
They only had. I mean, they're fifth right now. They only had a bad start to the season because like they went through injuries. And people have to also realize the Lakers and Heat had a very small layoff before the season started. Like they did not have nearly as long as a break. But so I'm definitely like putting that in context. But yeah, just definitely watch out for the Heat. Don't sleep on Jimmy Butler. And like I don't be surprised if they make noise in the playoffs.
Okay.
That's what I got for
All
Jimmy.
right, Brady, you want to go?
Yep.
All right.
I'm going Trey Young.
Ooh.
He averages
Trey
26.8 points per game, about 10 assists per game, and 4 rebounds a game.
Okay.
Not only that, but he's balled out against the best teams in the league.
Okay.
Versus the Clippers, 38-3-5. Versus Brooklyn, 28-13. 3 rebounds, and 14 assists. Versus the Lakers, he went 25, 4 rebounds, and 16 assists. The guy is balling.
Smack the Celtics.
I don't know
both
how
times.
he did not get an All-Star game.
Both times.
Both times.
Hey, just to say why I think he didn't get in. Trae Young draws fouls in a very unconventional way, and
Right.
people don't
Kyle
like
Lowry.
it. So he kind of like basically let's say he pump fakes, he'll lean back into the defender, and then he still gets the calls continuously. And Steve Nash was on record saying that's not basketball. And Steve Nash actually isn't the only coach who's shown displeasure to that style of play. So that's probably why he didn't get in. Because if you're just looking at numbers, there's absolutely no reason why Trae Young shouldn't have
So you
been
think
an
it's more
all-star.
the style of the
But
player
I'm
than
guessing
the
the
player?
coaches took
Yeah.
exception.
The coaches
You
don't
see,
really like the way
It's
he
one of
plays.
those
You
things.
see what Curry did?
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was against, but he had the ball in the corner. He kind of laid a little shoulder into him. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Hey, he made the All-Star game.
Yeah, but
Cool. All the
Yeah,
big
No, I'm
players.
just kidding, I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. All right, so I'll go. So for me, my biggest All-Star snub, because obviously D-Book, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Chris Middleton, those are big names. Trae Young's a big name. But I have Mike Conley. Not many people think that Mike Conley should be in the All-Star game. He's been in the year for 14-year career, has never been voted into an All-Star game. And he had the chance.
Disrespectful.
He had the chance to replace AD when AD was hurt. But listen, he was going with D-Book. Obviously, we're going to put Devin Booker. I'm not saying that they should have put him over Devin Booker, but I definitely think Mike Conley should have gotten the nod. Be like, listen, All-Star game.
It's a
He's averaging
popularity contest.
16.2 points per game, 5 assists per game, 3.6 rebounds per game. It's not the biggest. He's more of a role player than he is a standout player. But teams need that. Look at the Celtics.
He makes
Marcus Smart.
We would
Marcus
need
Smart.
that. We
need
need
that.
Yeah, we need that
Kemba was finally
production.
doing good. Marcus
Yeah.
Smart wasn't doing anything. And Mike Conley's leading the Jazz to the first seed in the West right now.
All-Stars should be difference makers,
Yep.
and Mike Conley
So you
makes
think
a
it's-
difference.
So
He definitely is helping that team out.
We were just talking about Marcus Smart and everything. And so you think Marcus Smart? No, I definitely agree with you. Marcus Smart. We need Marcus Smart to be a good team. We need Kemba to be on. When Kemba's on, we're good. Kemba finally played good, and he's averaging 18 points per game right now. So what are the Celtics? Are the Celtics slump? We'll call it. How can they get back on track?
I feel like even sometimes when Kemba plays good, then the other pieces don't play good and it still doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So we started 8-3.
Right.
Right now we're sitting at 16-7.
What are we?
That's
sixth
terrible.
Seed?
Yes.
Sixth seed?
16, 17, yeah.
But I do think we'll end up being the 4th seed.
Who do you think's gonna be over us?
Bucks, the
76ers.
Nets, and the 76ers.
76ers, yeah.
Oh, go back to Daryl. You said if it wasn't for the Nets, you would have the Heat favored. You would have the Heat favored over the Bucks and
Yep.
the 76ers.
Ooh, then I'm gonna put Celtics in the 5 seed then.
I think the Celtics are over the Heat. I
I
can't.
don't know, dude.
What-
Jimmy
what-
Butler's playing like a maniac right now.
I can't.
I mean,
He's
the
balling.
Heat already took the Heat already took care of them last year, and they lost Hayward.
Yes.
So, and they're playing even worse now. So the Celtics don't have a
I
chance
agree with
against the
that,
Heat to
Darryl.
come
I agree
together.
with that.
But
Yeah.
to talk about the Celtics slump, right? Let's talk about the Celtics slump.
So who do we play?
So
We would
just
play
to
the
put into
76ers
context.
if it ended today.
Daryl,
If we were the
Yeah,
fifth.
yeah.
If we were fifth.
Yeah. But to put in perspective of the Celtics
Yeah.
slump, right? So, like Brady said, they started off 8-3, and they've been like about 8-14 since, right? They've also lost 8 of 12, and they actually lost 3 straight last week at a point. So these are some things I think the Celtics can do to turn things around. First of all, you got to change the starting lineup. Like you're seeing something isn't working, you got to make some adjustments. I love Brad Stevens.
What would be your starting five?
Yeah. I'd put Rob Williams in the starting five. So,
Brad Stevens even went out, and
That kid
I
is an
think
animal.
Danny Ainge might have said it too. But I know Brad Stevens said that Robert Williams is a big part of the Celtics' future. So give him more minutes. He had a career high the other night against the Pacers. Give him more minutes. He can
and
play.
he's a shot blocker. Like
He can play.
denies people.
That
at
might
the
be
rim.
the big man that the Celtics need. When he was on, Kemba was on, Tatum wasn't that on, but we still squeezed out the win. That's all that matters. But like, I don't know, because Celtics are 29th in the fourth quarter this year out of 30. 29. We can't play in the
That's
fourth quarter.
unacceptable.
Exactly. I was just gonna say unacceptable. We
Even
can't.
Jaylen Brown said this past week, we've had the opportunity to win and we haven't. I can tell the mental focus. It's not there. It's not enough. I just don't know.
Who said this?
Hearing that from an all-star, you don't know. Like,
Who was this?
It needs to be figured out, and it needs to be figured out quick because it's a shortened season. This is
Jaylen
Jaylen Brown.
Okay.
My fault.
There you go.
Yeah.
But so the Celtics right now are 9-5 at home, which is not that good, but 7-12 away. When it goes to overtime, we're 0-1 because we only had one overtime game. We're 8-6 when it's within 10 points late in the fourth quarter. 3-4 within 3 points late in the fourth quarter. In the last 10 road games, we're 2-8. That's straight garbage. That's bad. Like our Boston sports, we used to be having parade after parade after parade. We had the Red Sox parade. Then we were like, all right, get the boats going, get the duck boats going. Patriots are going. Patriots are rolling. Had another parade. Are Boston sports dead? Brady.
I do not think we'll be winning championships anytime soon, but our last hope are the Boston Bruins. First in the East Division. First in the East Division with an 18-11-5 record, 24 points. I know. I hope they win the championship, but you never know.
Did we beat the Rangers? When did we play the Rangers? Yesterday? 2 days ago? Did we win?
We lost our Rangers. We lost our Rangers. Yeah. Bruins are actually on a 2-game losing streak right now, but they're still
both to the Rangers.
Best Boston team right now.
Best Boston team by far.
So Red Sox are gonna stink. I don't even know what their cap situation is looking at. I didn't even want to know. I just know gave away Mookie Betts. That was our biggest. Pretty much named player.
I'm gonna get to that.
I believe when he was with us, we were getting all that though. I think it was like 10 million or something.
Pulling a Bill Belichick. I don't. Yep. But see, the thing is, New England Revolution, they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. Yep. They kind of swept under the rug because soccer and mass is big in kind of like high school, college, barely. No, in the major leagues. Major League Soccer, the MLS in the United States was taken as a joke. It's a retirement league. David Beckham came here to retire. Zlatan Ibrahimovic came here for a little bit. They both played on LA Galaxy. People come here to retire. Ibra played somewhere else, but he left. But Revolution went to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think the Patriots can turn it around because they have plenty of cap room. If Bill Belichick is still our defensive mastermind, is still as our coach, I think I'm not worried about defense. Hightower's definitely coming back. They said Patrick Chung's coming back. Marcus Cannon, the tackle's coming back. I feel like Brady said, I don't think we're winning championships anytime soon, but I do think that we have playoff aspirations and playoff hopes. If the Celtics can turn around, we're finally back in the playoff hunt.
I agree.
Give Robert Williams time. Give Kemba healthy. Hopefully after this All-Star break, Kemba can really treat. What is he hurt? What is it?
What? His
Kemba.
knee.
Is it a knee?
His knee.
Near?
His
oh,
knee.
okay. I thought it was ankle.
All
right. So Red Sox are down the drain. I don't see any. Hopefully they pick up our friend Chris Carbonaro out of the draft. Shout out Chris. Shout out. Revolution kind of no one really cares about the MLS. Sadly, I used to play soccer, but no one really cares about the MLS. Darryl, are you talking about the Red Sox? What were we saying with Mookie?
Oh yeah. So all right. So I'll let you guys say what you guys want to say for a little bit. I have a lot to say about Boston sports, and honestly, you guys can say whatever you guys want to me in the comments. But Boston sports is dead. It's not like we're not gonna win any championship in the next 10 years. This is not
any
happening.
sport.
Unless the Bruins can.
No, I think the Bruins are the favorites this year. They might be one of the favorites. Who are the favorites right now?
There's a couple teams.
All right, Brady's gonna look up who the favorites are in the NHL right now.
I'm just gonna look at the standings. I don't know off the top of my head.
But Bruins are number one in their standings right now in their division or conference, however it works in the NHL. But the Bruins might be one of, I think it's top 3 or top 4 teams in the NHL right now. I think, if not, because we had a run, what was it, 2 years ago?
The Lightning.
Against who's it right now?
The Lightning, one second.
Yeah.
The Lightning,
the
Capitals are better than us. They actually just took the lead in the East Division. And then
what's the Rangers
record? The
record?
Gold Knights, but they're kind of around the same as us. The Capitals are 11-5-4.
Yeah.
And then Lightning's 14-4-1.
What are the Rangers? Real quick. So you know how the Golden Knights was?
They're
Wait,
7-8.
They're 7-8.
They're not a threat.
We just lost twice. We lost twice.
Guys, I gotta get this taken. Go ahead.
No, so you know.
All right, guys, I gotta get this taken. I gotta take it.
They're a threat.
All right, so right. The reason Boston sports isn't. All right, the reason Boston sports isn't working out is because all of our sports teams show so much selfishness, and it's ridiculous. And the karma comes back to.
We don't play team ball.
So let me give you examples in each sport. Right? So the Celtics, right? Isaiah Thomas clearly his heart was in the Celtics. He balled out for us when his sister died. He dropped 50 on the Wizards. He balled out for us. He had an MVP. It was an average, like 40-something or 50. But he had a crazy game against the Wizards the day his sister died. But Isaiah Thomas clearly, his heart was in the Celtics and he was ready to go to war for us. He was playing with injury.
Before you move on from the Celtics, so I think it was Brad Stevens or Ainge said it. They wanted Kyrie Irving in the long-term Celtics.
I'm gonna get to that. Yep. So I'm gonna get to that, right? So Isaiah Thomas clearly is someone who was dedicated to our organization and he was balling out. He had an MVP season, and you trade him, right? So you trade him to get Kyrie Irving, and guess what? So since the guy wanted to do Isaiah Thomas dirty, guess what Kyrie Irving did to you? He left you guys. He left you guys, right? And now you lost an inconsistent Kemba Walker. That's what you get. Like Isaiah Thomas clearly had no problem, but you want to go get Kyrie for
Do you
no
think
reason.
Gordon Hayward is worth
And
letting
Kyrie-
go? Or do you think
Kyrie
we should
literally
have kept
said-
him? Do you think we should have kept Hayward or no?
Hayward wasn't working out, but honestly, Kyrie.
Uncle
Like,
Mr.
imagine, look
Yeah,
how
though,
stupid
he's
you look. Like,
thriving now.
I know.
no, but look how stupid the Celtics look. Like you had Kyrie and Hayward, and now they're
No,
both
I
gone.
think
But you could have just
The
kept
only
Isaiah
reason why I
Thomas.
think Hayward didn't work is because he was the fourth option. He can't be the fourth. Who's he playing with right now? LaMelo.
Well, and
Terry?
he did have that injury
Terry
too. He did have that injury too. Yeah,
But I just
he did have that injury too. That
he had a lot of
threw him
promise
off
coming from.
that
Where did he
got
come from?
that
The
injury,
Jazz.
so-
Was it the Jazz?
Yeah.
He had a lot of promise.
The
Yes,
Jazz,
he got
yeah, he was
injured
balling
against
out.
the Cavs
Yeah.
in the very first game, but he can't. Gordon Hayward is a great player, but on the Celtics, he looked like the uncle at the YMCA. Like he had an ugly shooting form. Like he looked old. He can't be the fourth option. He can't be the fourth man because they're gonna dish it to Tatum. They're gonna dish it to Brown. Gonna dish it to Kemba with a step back mid range. If Marcus Smart's hot, they're gonna dish it to Marcus Smart before they dish it to Gordon Hayward.
Yep.
All right, Derek, you can go.
Oh, I also need to. Yeah, I need to get a point about the Patriots as well. It's like an example of how they show selfishness, right?
Not
And
Tom.
this one is the most disrespectful one to me. So Tom Brady is obviously a legend in Massachusetts. All he wanted was a longer contract. What did you do? You didn't give it to him. You did not give him enough help either. So what is he gonna do? He left, and since he left, guess what he did? He won a Super Bowl.
They went
These
all
things
in. The
aren't
Bucks went all in
coincidences,
for
right?
Tom. They knew they didn't have a
No,
lot of
guess
time
what?
left.
So no, right? So the Patriots clearly lost faith in Tom Brady, but the Bucks had faith in Tom Brady, and what happened? He
Right.
won. Oh, guess what? Let's go to the Red Sox as well. Mookie Betts has been on record saying that he wants to stay in Boston, but there's rumors that the Red Sox thought he was going to walk in free agency, so they wanted to trade him. Oh, guess what? The Red Sox finished 24-36, they're last in the AL East. Oh, guess what? Again, the Dodgers finished 43-17, first in the NL West, and won the World Series. And arguably, Mookie Betts should have been MVP. Like very arguably.
I'm
He
happy
bombed
for
out.
Mookie though. I
So,
love Mookie
guess
Betts.
what?
I love Mookie Betts. He's just fun to watch, and you don't really
So
say that against
Boston has to
MLB
make
players.
big
He's fun to watch.
decisions.
I miss him. Angie Benintendi. Our outfield was going
I
crazy.
know.
Those dances,
Helps a lot.
the
when they're
dances,
cheating.
those little handshakes that they were doing in the
I know.
outfield after a win. Those we miss them. We miss them. Come back.
Yeah.
All right, Patriots. I don't know. Patriots. I want them to be good so bad, but the thing is, so Cam Newton. Cam Newton could be such a good quarterback. But he has no one to throw to. I believe his completion percentage was like 62. So it's not terrible. His completion percentage isn't bad. Yes, he was throwing it in the dirt. He was throwing it like a foot above guys' heads sometimes. Yes, which is terrible. But he's not. He can be a good quarterback. He has potential. I personally think that he should stay. I said this last episode, I think. I think he should stay in New England. If not the starter, then like a more of a mentor backup like Ryan Fitzpatrick is. But I feel like
Yeah, that
most
makes
likely
sense.
we're going to
Yep.
get Marcus Mariota, which I love. Oregon guy. Ran a 4.52 40-yard dash. Sam Darnold, I feel like, is a guy that we could get. Jimmy G. Bring back the girlfriend that you lost. Get a second chance with her. Or Cam Newton, who runs a 4.56 at the 40-yard dash. Brady, who do you think Patriots are going to
Well,
get?
the most important thing
At
about
QB.
the most
At QB.
important thing about being an NFL QB is consistency.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, we saw a glimpse of what Cam Newton could be in the Seahawks in both Jets games.
Yeah.
But in order,
And the Miami
in
game,
order
he
to
was
be
rushing-
in order to be a good QB in the NFL, you have to be consistent. He just wasn't that. So we may give him a second chance, but I do think we do have a shot at getting Jimmy G, who knows the offense, who would work in the offense, or
Bill
Marcus,
Belichick
or
likes him.
Marcus Mariota, like Dom said. I think both players would come here with the mentality to win, but they might have a price tag on them.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota's getting paid what, $10 million for a backup job right now?
I think
he's
Jimmy
gonna
G's up there in the 20s, maybe.
Jimmy G's gonna probably want. Say he comes back to New England, Bill Belichick's probably gonna work him down a little bit, just because he kind of wants to emphasize that he wants to build around him. We'll probably get him down to like 21, 22. Marcus Mariota will probably get up to like 15, maybe 13 if he's gonna be a starter. Sam Darnold, get him minimum. Sam Darnold, I'm not a fan. But see, the thing is with Cam Newton, we're gonna pay him probably less than $5 million, which is insane.
Less than one, probably.
Imagine.
Less than one.
No, what most,
Well, I mean-
in all likely we're gonna pay him less than $5 million. That gives us, I don't know the exact number, but a ton of cap room to build around Cam, and then we can really see if Cam is worth it. If we have the talents around Cam, see if he is worth it. I'd rather get all the talents. I'd rather get all the talents around Cam this year. Rather, hey, doesn't work. Get a new quarterback.
You know he's
get a
gonna
new
be cheap,
quarterback next
so
year.
you're going to be able to spend.
Exactly. That's what I'm
But
saying.
how I think of
Yeah.
it, the Patriots are going to be as good as the Patriots are going to go as far as they're willing to give up.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to break it down to the bone,
Yep.
rebuild, and then see what you can get with the money you have.
I don't think
maybe
we're gonna
keep Cam
rebuild.
Newton.
I heard we might get Micah Parsons out of the draft if we do get that later pick. He's a dog out of Penn State. I heard he's more of like a coverage linebacker than more of a linebacker, pass rush, run stopping linebacker. He is very powerful, great in coverages. But Daryl, what do you think the Patriots are most likely going to do at the quarterback option next year?
All right, so first of all, if we're talking about quarterbacks for any teams, especially the Patriots, I gotta get this out. If there's any chance you have of getting Deshaun Watson, I just don't care. You gotta make that happen.
He is
even though
the
that
guy.
could be like,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
He's
it's like
the guy.
even though that could be a little unlikely. But if you have any chance of making that happen, you gotta make that happen. But I'm completely with Dom on this. I think that I'd either go the Cam Newton route or a Mac Jones route. Why? Because you're gonna have to pay them too much money.
I can't
Cam
buy
obviously
into
doesn't want
Mac
that much
yet.
money.
I can't buy into
Yeah.
college quarterbacks. I can't do it.
The thing is,
Everyone that they're throwing to is
so,
open. Go on, Daryl.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so Cam obviously doesn't care about the money. He just wants to prove himself, and he has a chip on his shoulder. And Mac would be like my second option in that case because he was throwing.
You'd
to,
rather Mac over
big
Marcus
time
Mariota?
receivers. I feel like one thing though. I feel like Mac has he has. I hope you guys notice. He had the highest QBR in college football history. So we can't act
His
like all of
accuracy
that.
is
I did not know that, to be completely honest.
Dude, I
Yeah,
watched
so-
his highlights, and he was making throws. The defender's hand was right
You know,
here.
I'm kind of buying into Mac
Perfectly
Jones a little
laid
bit
out on
after
the
talking about
sideline.
Mac Jones.
He makes perfect throws.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, I'm not saying like Mac Jones is like the future or anything
Great
like that.
decision
But
maker.
one thing too, he's a great decision maker, and that Alabama system is like basically the Patriots system of college football. So and Nick Saban and Bill Belichick are similar
If I was-
coaches, so I feel
if
like
I
we
was-
get used to the system
If I was to
quickly.
trust one NFL team, college football team, it'd probably be Alabama with Nick Saban and Bill Belichick being pretty much the same coach and same person, same attitude,
Yeah.
same everything. Nick Saban was getting some dip out of his lip while going to the field of the college football championship. I'm not saying Bill does that, but they're pretty much the same person. But there are some pretty big named quarterbacks. Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson just bluffing? He's talking about it, saying, "Oh, my team said that. I didn't say that. Team 3 is saying that. Sierra's saying that with her team. Oh, the Seahawks coming out as they're not happy that Russell Wilson's team came out as unhappy. Is Russell Wilson even going to go anywhere? Or is he just going to stay in Seattle?"
All right, so I'm happy you sent this to me because I need to get this out there. So first of all, Russell Wilson is not getting traded this year. If he got traded, that would be the single dumbest thing I've ever seen in NFL history. Because if he got traded
Behind
this year,
Aaron Rodgers
the
being
Seahawks
traded.
would take. Right? The Seahawks would take a $39 million salary cap hit. So you don't want to trade him this year. It doesn't make sense. If you trade him this year, you're not gonna have. You're basically putting your organization to trash because you're not gonna do anything with that much of a cap hit. So that would kill any chance of the Seahawks truly contending. So it wouldn't make sense for him to get traded. So I'm trying to be the party pooper, but I want everyone to get that idea out their head. Russell Wilson is not going anywhere this year. That'd be astonishing.
He's bouncing.
But if he does go anywhere. I think the Saints would be a good option. You got AK, you got Michael Thomas, you got a good defense. If he does go anywhere, I'll go to Saints.
I don't think there's any. How are the Saints going to pay him? They're negative 96, negative $1 million in cap. There's no way that they can pay Russell Wilson. So it was what? The Saints, the Cowboys, the Bears, the Raiders. Where'd you see the Jets and the Dolphins? Because you said it.
I sent it. I don't know where I think it was ESPN.
Was it ESPN? Because I didn't see. I'm not saying they didn't say it, but I just didn't see the Jets and the Dolphins. But if any, again, the worst thing possible for the Patriots, I think the best spot would either be the Dolphins for him or the Bears. The Bears are a good team. They have Darnell Mooney, who is a great wide receiver. Montgomery, who is Allen Robinson, who's probably arguably top 5. Wide receiver in the league. Arguably, I said arguably. Half the balls are being thrown to him. I think it said 50% of the balls thrown to him aren't even in, or it was like 60% of the balls thrown to him and Darnell Mooney aren't even catchable balls. So Allen Robinson is putting up big numbers with almost all of the balls. We talk about Cam Newton throwing them high, throwing them in the dirt. Mitch Trubisky is just a worse Cam Newton. And the Raiders, I think the Raiders would be a great one too. I just feel like Nelson Aguilar and Henry Ruggs, Henry Ruggs the third. I don't know if they'd be enough. They have a great I don't know if you guys have seen the picture.
They have Waller.
They do have Darren Waller. So the Raiders, if the Bears can maybe get, because the Bears defense is great, if they can get a star tight end, because who'd they have this year? Who is the tight end? The Bears. Who's the Bears tight end this year?
Idea.
I don't remember off my head.
Was it Jimmy Graham? Okay. So if they can get a good tight end, say they try and work their way up in the draft to get Kyle Pitts. Hopefully they don't, because I want the Patriots to get Kyle Pitts. But go on.
You know why I remembered it was Jimmy Graham?
No.
Do you remember in that playoff game, he caught the ball with one hand,
Yes.
and a touchdown, and he just ran off the field.
Yes, I do remember.
Just ran off. That was sick too.
He did. Yeah. He was like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Casually caught it with one hand.
I think so. Russell Wilson even stormed into. There were reports coming out. Russell Wilson stormed out of a team offensive meeting trying to get the offense better. But say you're a Seahawks offensive lineman. How do you feel about your quarterback saying all this stuff? Are you even going to want to protect him? Just be like, do a little drop back and just let him go? Are they just going to let him go?
Well, I think what's happening between Russell and the organization is between them.
No, it's not.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
Them. It's out everywhere. How is it between them?
He's not.
His teammates don't hate him, dude. He's
no,
Russell.
I'm not saying. I'm not. Yeah. No, I'm not saying he's hating. I'm not saying he's hating, but don't they feel like a little disrespected? Like, yes, there's some guys banged up on the O line,
I agree.
but he's straight up trashing their offensive line, saying he's had no protection his whole career in Seattle. Imagine like, I'm trying my best. I'm doing whatever I can. I'm in the NFL. I'm one of the best linemen in the world. And yes, I understand he's getting hit a lot, but he also escapes the pocket a lot. It comes with it. It comes with the mobility.
He does, yeah.
So he can't blame it.
His style of play opens that to happen to him too.
Pete Carroll, the last thing Pete Carroll wants to do at 70 years old is a rebuild. That's the last thing he wants to do. So either they would say he goes to Dallas, because I believe Sierra was born in Houston or in Dallas, so they can maybe do a swap for Deshaun from Houston to go back home to Texas for Sierra, or trade Dak and say Dak in a pick to Seattle, because Seattle's paying a little bit less for. Or what's Russell Wilson's contract right now? Do you guys know? What
I think it's like $39 million.
I did not know.
Is it 39?
But like Daryl said, I think if the Seahawks were to trade Russell Wilson, they have to make that $39 million cap hit worth it, and I just don't see that happening. So, but if he does get traded, I stand on what I said last week. I like him going to the Dolphins just based on the good defense, the good coach. They're ready to win now. That's the only place I see him going, but I don't think he's leaving Seattle.
So, here's the thing. A lot of people are arguing about, like, they need to surround Russell Wilson with weapons. They need to surround Aaron Rodgers with weapons.
Plenty of weapons.
They have weapons, and yes, they need an offensive line. But if you are paying your quarterback big money, how are you going to... Yes, I understand they need to draft better for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But how are they going to surround him with a ton of talent that they would like? If Aaron Rodgers is making a ton of money, we're going to see that maybe with with Carolina.
Yeah.
They have McCaffrey on one of the biggest running back deals of all time, if not the biggest of all time. Deshaun Watson, who's going to be making a ton of money. He's probably arguably top 3 quarterback not even arguably. He is a top 3 quarterback in the league if he has help around him. So how are they going to surround Russell Wilson with great offensive linemen that he wants if they need to play DK, they need to play Tyler Lockett? If Josh Gordon's going to the fan-controlled football league. I think they announced that today.
He's trying to get back in the NFL, though.
Is he?
Yeah.
I think he's playing with Johnny Manziel.
I actually got a notification for that.
So
he's trying to get in.
Same thing with Aaron. I don't know if they can bring in big names in free agency for Aaron Rodgers. Yes, they might be able to bring in Will Fuller. They can't bring in Allen Robinson. They can't pay him. They have to pay a good offensive line. Aaron Rodgers has a good offensive line. We saw in the NFC Championship. He could or could not have ran into the end zone in the fourth quarter. Listen. All right, go to that. Do you think he would have made it or no?
No.
Daryl,
I think he made what the best decision at the moment was.
No. Even if he throws it, yes, I understand there's a guy towards the back of the end zone, and I think it was Devin White or I believe it was Devin White or Levante David was in the middle. He had at least 11, 12 yards of daylight, 10 yards or 11 yards to get to the end zone. Even if he doesn't get into the end zone, he's at least getting to the 4.
But Aaron Rodgers is a situational football player. If you look at what that play was...
He needs to know the situation.
Listen to what I'm going to say. It was 3rd and 10.
Yeah.
You're expecting your coach to give you that confidence. He's the MVP of the league. It's only 3rd and 10. You think your coach is going to give you that second opportunity to get into the end zone. So
exactly.
he took this play and he said, yeah, I could run for it. I might fumble. I might do whatever. He decides to throw it incomplete. Yeah. Okay, you get another chance.
I still feel like
his coach took the ball out of his hands, kicked the field goal. They never touched the ball again.
I completely understand with that. I completely agree with what you're saying. But I just think, say yes, he does know situation football. He should know, all right, this is 3rd and long right now. I don't want to go for a 4th and long. Let me try and slim the field down, narrow the field down as much as I can. As soon as he sees someone coming at him, get a little slide going on.
At the same time as
going
that,
to second base.
At the same time as that, they were down by 10. So even if they score on that possession, they need as much time as possible. Yeah. So throwing the ball away stops the clock.
Run out of bounds. He probably wouldn't have made it out of bounds. He wouldn't have made it out of bounds. I shouldn't have said that. But I just think if he was playing situational football, give him a little hurry up going on. What's the coach's name? Matt? Is it Matt Shanahan?
LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur. Who's Shanahan?
Matt LaFleur.
49ers?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that he could have. I think he could have gone as much yards as he could have, and probably.
He could have cut the 4th down in half, maybe.
He could have. At least in half.
But at the same time, you have to look at the big picture. He didn't think the coach was taking the ball out of the MVP's
Nobody
hands.
did. Nobody did.
Yep.
I don't blame Aaron Rodgers, but I kind of do at the same time.
May spoil the relationship down the road, but it's okay.
Do you think Aaron Rodgers is leaving?
He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere.
I don't think he's leaving, but I think if they don't I heard they might draft an offensive lineman, which, hey, Seahawks might want to hop on that. They have the pick before them, I think, or pick 2 picks before them. They might want to hop on that offensive lineman trend, or maybe I doubt they're going to trade up to get Penei Sewell, or however you pronounce his name, from Oregon, the tackle from Oregon. I doubt they're going to trade up to get him, but they need to do as much as they can to help Russell and help Aaron Rodgers. But I think Aaron Rodgers, their offense is great, but do they even need more offensive help? Like Aaron Rodgers, Marquez Valdez-Scantling is good. Alan Lazard can have good games. Same with MVS can have good games.
But Adams just takes over.
Adams takes over. Aaron Jones, I don't think they're going to sign Aaron Jones because they have who's their running back from Massachusetts? Who's the rookie?
AJ Dillon.
It is AJ Dillon.
Yeah.
So they
drafted him in what? Did they draft him last year?
I think so. Didn't they draft AJ Dillon last? Look it up. Find it out. Figure it out.
I think it was. It was either second.
What was it? I think it was second round.
Second round.
But
because they drafted Jordan Love.
So they beat. See, the thing is, listen, Tampa Bay TB12. We love. Hey, Bucks are my second team now. Love the Bucks. Love the Patriots. Patriots a little bit more, but the Green Bay Packers against the Los Angeles Rams defense lit them up. They torched the defense, maybe not as much yardage-wise, but just going downfield play by play by play. They weren't getting big chunk plays, but they were working their way down the field. So their defense was clearly not the problem. Jared Goff was the problem. Same thing in Philly. Yes, their defense is probably god-awful, but not terrible. Carson Wentz was the problem. Daryl, who would you rather have as your quarterback, Carson Wentz or Jared Goff? Carson Wentz now. Should we go best season or just overall? Overall,
who would I want going forward?
And it doesn't matter if we're going Colts Wentz or Eagles Wentz. It's just okay. Go on, Daryl.
Good.
Yeah. So I'm perceiving the question as who would I want going forward, right? And before I even say anything about Goff, I do not think any of these quarterbacks are good. Like, I would not, if I'm starting a franchise, I'd throw up before I'd pick up one of these QBs. I just don't think that they're good.
Throw up?
But if I had to pick one, I'd rather have to throw up than one of these QBs, like, honestly. But if I had to pick one of them, I'd pick Jared Goff. Because, honestly, like, I think if Jared Goff has, like, good protection and explosive wide receivers, he can be better, right? And y'all probably going to point to Wentz's MVP season. But I don't see how someone could come off of... First of all, Wentz doesn't look like he's in the right mental state anymore. And the season he had last year was atrocious. Like, he looked like he could have been the defensive player of the year if he wanted to. Like, he was helping out the defense. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I don't see how you go from, like, the performance you had last year to becoming a top, even 10 quarterback in the league. Like, that was just a terrible performance. He was arguably the worst QB in the league last year, right? Goff wasn't good, but Goff was like in the average range, and I think Goff just needs a good connection with his coach, because him and Sean McVay just weren't getting along anymore. It was just clear.
This whole season, they would rather have John Wolford start when John Wolford. What was it?
So I think
it was Jared Goff's
John Wolford.
It was Jared Goff's thumb. He could have played.
Yeah,
He could have started, but they didn't want him. Go on, Daryl.
Yeah, so that connection was off, right? So I think if Jared Goff has good protection and he's an explosive wide receivers, right? I think if he has those two things, he can be an average QB. And then with
Who
that,
would be an
I gotta
average
take
QB?
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff?
Jared Goff. I don't think Wentz is going to be that good like next year. And we can pull up this episode and tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think after you have a performance like you had last year that you're ever going to be good again. Like that's just really atrocious. Like I don't expect him to even become like all pro ever again or anything like that. Like I think once his
I don't
career,
think he'll go all pro.
Once his career, once his career is just not looking
well. Wentz has the lower interception percentage, but Goff has more career wins. But since 2019, Goff has 38 turnovers, which is the most in the league. Wentz has 33.
Yep.
But on the new teams, I still think Wentz has the upper hand, just based on that O-line that the Colts have in the defense. And you already know Goff's going to the Lions. The production is going to go down. The team's terrible.
Danny Amendola.
They're terrible.
Probably number one besides Kenny Galladay.
Wentz is going to strive in Indianapolis, and I honestly think it's his opportunity to get his career back, and I think he's going to take advantage of it.
Do you think T.Y. is going to – how do you think T.Y. is going to do? Because we had some comments in our Instagram story. Do you think that T.Y. Hilton is going to be T.Y. that we know, or just T.Y. role player? Like a Marcus – we'll go back to Marcus Smart, more of a role player. Mike Conley, role player. Is he going to be a role player, or is he going to be standout? Because Michael Pittman, as good as he is from the second round, he can't be the number one.
Yeah.
Michael Pittman cannot be the number one wide receiver.
I think he can.
You think he can?
I think he can.
I think he has potential, but I don't think
he
shined. I think he had like a 40-yard touchdown as his only touchdown in the NFL. Great play with bummy Phillip Rivers.
But he showed a lot of.
Go on.
Yeah. All right. So all right. First of all, Phillip Rivers don't put disrespect on Phillip Rivers' name. They had a great season. Second of all, I think Pittman has a lot of potential. Like we gotta be easy on these rookies. Like he was a rookie last year, and the plays I've seen him make, he's shown the ability to be able to break down his defender and stuff like that. So I think he has the explosive.
I just think he needs to get a little more
to be
physical.
a number one guy. So I mean, as the coach is set up for Wentz to win regardless. That defense is just one of the best in the NFL. So Wentz can't have any more excuses.
Michael Pittman, I believe, hurt his ankle, had to get surgery on his ankle. Shout out Michael and I believe Kiana. They have a YouTube channel. They do their whole story on YouTube. I believe he had to get surgery on his ankle. I think it was week 2 or week 3. Early onto the season. Had to wait almost, I think it was about half the season. He had to wait to get back on. Didn't score his touchdown until I think 3 games after he came back. Something like that. I don't know, unless he can build a ton of muscle, not even just his lower half, because he has speed, but he's not up there as their speedy guys. I just think he needs to be able to be physical at the line. He needs to get at least that or get his footwork up. Train with Devontae Adams, Julian Edelman, Cole Beasley, Cooper Kupp in the offseason. What's up?
Oh, but yeah, another thing. You know who's a playmaker for their coach and probably their best now? John
Taylor is great.
First of all, that rookie class was like clap it off for that rookie class. That rookie class.
Shout out
2020. Shout out 2020. You know the
Justin
vibe.
Jefferson. There's so many. Yeah, so Jonathan Taylor shows the potential. Jonathan Taylor's gonna make a lot of noise next year. So I think Wentz has everything he needs, and let's see if he can make the most of it. I don't think he will.
I think I would rather Carson Wentz. Like Daryl pointed out earlier, both overpaid.
What did Daryl want?
Daryl wanted Jared Goff.
So how could you? So what's making?
Let me go.
Now, Daryl, let's not get emotional. Let's not get emotional.
Let me go.
Let me go,
dude. Have you seen that guy? He looks like he's gonna poop his pants every time he steps on the field, bro.
Wentz is terrible. Like Wentz was helping the defense. He was like, "Oh, you're not gonna play a catch. He was throwing it to corners. Free touchdown. I got you, bro." Like,
listen. Carson Wentz career record. 35.
They're both terrible. Okay, they're both bad.
They're both bad. We're not saying we want either of them. Neither of them. I'm glad we both find a spot.
We had to pick one.
Carson Wentz. I'd rather Cam, but Carson Wentz 35, 32 and 1, 62% completion percentage, 16,811 yards, 130 touchdowns for 50 picks. Goff 42, 27 and 0, 63% completion percentage. 18,171 yards, 107 touchdowns, 55 picks. He has less touchdowns thrown than Carson Wentz and more picks thrown. Basically the same completion percentage by 1% Wentz has more touchdowns. Wentz has less picks. They're both taken early in the 2016 draft class, and they're both gone. What was it, 1 and 2? Was that where they were picked, 1 and 2? They're both gone. So, yes, they are both bad quarterbacks. I would not want either of them. But Goff had way more talent. Nelson Aguilar, shout out the guy who was catching babies falling from the flaming buildings.
You mean Wentz?
What?
You said Goff. You mean Wentz?
Excuse me.
Wentz.
No, Goff had way more. Goff had more.
You're saying Goff has more talent than Wentz? Or
more talent around him. More talent around him.
Okay.
Shout out.
Okay.
Sorry. So Nelson Aguilar, he was not doing good on the Eagles. He's doing good now on the Raiders.
Yep.
But Carson Wentz was sacked 179 times in his career. Goff was sacked 129 times. So therefore, like we said, Carson Wentz was sacked 50 times just this past year.
Half of his sacks are this year alone.
No, a fourth of his sacks were just this year. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
it works out. Actually, it works out. But so Goff around him has had Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods, Todd Gurley, C.J. Anderson, Cooper Kupp, and a top defense at the same time. At the same time. And yes, they had probably, I think it was the Greatest Show on Turf Part 2. They probably one of the greatest, undoubtedly greatest offenses that
the Patriots
year.
made him look like a toddler.
Patriots sat him down, gave him a little pacifier.
It looked like someone took a baby's pacifier and he was like,
no, Carson Wentz, and Jared Goff has done the same amount of production, literally to the percent, almost the same amount of production. Yes, Jared Goff has 2,000 more yards, but we all know that's from the 2017-2018 Rams team.
Bunch of studs.
Exactly.
They were studs.
Jared Goff has done the same amount, if not a little bit less than Carson Wentz has, with
way more.
Way more talent. Way
so
more
let me
talent.
ask you guys
So
both
what
a
up,
question.
Daryl?
Let me ask you guys a simple question. Last year, the eye test, who's the worst quarterback in the NFL?
Wentz by far. Out of the two, Wentz.
That's all.
Who has a better opportunity to strive next year?
You just said we were talking about overall. You're a liar.
Daryl, you're saying
you're a liar.
So
you're a bum. You're a liar.
Wait. So you think Jared Goff is gonna put the Lions on this pedestal? No.
So no. So I'm perceiving it as who should have a better year next year? Wentz should. I don't believe in him. But if I'm starting a franchise, I'd rather have Goff. The eye test last year, Wentz was just giving the defense the ball. He wasn't even trying.
So from here on out,
it looked like he was going out there to be bad.
Who would you rather have? On their new teams, Goff in Detroit, Carson Wentz in
I'd rather
Colts.
Wentz.
I'd rather Wentz. Frank Reich, his old coach,
but
gets the hunt with DeForest Buckner, gets the hunt with him, gets to get a little 12 gauge go in the woods in Indianapolis. Listen, the team chemistry is there. There was zero team chemistry. They were arguing on the sidelines with Doug Peterson. Jalen Hurts won the job. Doug Peterson won Jalen Hurts. They ended up going with the third string in the last game of the season. Got the Giants upset, which, hold on. The Giants had no room to be upset for that. No room. They should have won the games. They should have won the games when they could have. It's not the Eagles' fault. The Eagles were doing what the Eagles do. # not the next dynasty. After they beat the Patriots, they were supposed to be the next dynasty. But
at the same time, I don't think you can hold Jared Goff to that same level because he's playing in Detroit. Like, he's not like...
Detroit's the graveyard. Detroit is a bummy franchise.
But if he
always
does,
has been, always will
but if
be.
he does excel in Detroit...
It's if Jared Goff has the same season as Carson Wentz, it's better for Jared Goff than it is for Carson Wentz.
The pieces are around Carson Wentz to succeed.
Right.
So sky's the limit for him.
They have a defense. They have a great offensive line. Maybe just for Carson Wentz, maybe like another target tight end. Who's the tight end?
For the Colts?
Yeah. No, couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. But all they need, they have Micah Pittman, T.Y. Hilton. Maybe they just need another wide receiver for Carson Wentz, but I think that's all they need. Jared Goff, Danny Amendola, probably Tampa Bay. Kenny Galladay, most likely gone. Who else do they have? Who do they have? Adrian Peterson, gone. He wants to go to Tampa Bay.
Gone.
Jeff Okudah,
Gone.
he just got there.
He's there.
He just drafted him. Jeff Okudah, cornerback.
I was just trying to go
is he cornerback or safety?
Who?
Cornerback. Jeff Okudah, Lions.
Is he a cornerback?
Is he a corner? He was hurt last year, but he didn't. He had a pretty good year. But offensive help for Jared Goff. Jared Goff isn't the most mobile. He needs a good offensive line to be good.
He needs a good running back.
He needs a good running back, but he
elevates in the play action game, Daryl.
Oh!
You can't even lie.
Back to Russell Wilson.
He's way better in
back
the play
to Russell
action game
Wilson.
than he is just dropping back and throwing.
Back to Russell.
No, he
okay,
is, he
back
is.
to Russell Wilson. The reason why I have the thought in my head. I need to put it into words. Russell Wilson was angry. He was getting sacked, right? Correct. Meanwhile, defenses were saying Seahawks were one of the easiest teams to break down because they were in the same few plays over and over again because pass first offense. Then Pete Carroll was like, all right, you know what? Defenses are figuring us out. Let's hand it off to Chris Carson a few times. Jared Goff's like, no. Excuse me, Russell Wilson. Let Russ cook. Let Russ cook. Give me the ball. Let me throw it out. I thought you wanted to not get sacked. I thought you wanted defenses to not realize what we're doing. So Russell Wilson wants to let Russ cook. But with him letting Russ cook, he's burning the kitchen.
And he's complaining about it.
He's complaining about it because defenses know exactly what they're doing. DK's either doing a slant over the middle, getting a screen, getting picked off in the playoffs by the Rams. They need a running game, but Russell Wilson says, no, I don't want a running game. I want to throw the ball. Jared Goff is not the same way, but Jared Goff is the same way in the way that he needs to throw the ball to be great. Yes, C.J. Anderson and Todd Gurley kind of sort of carried them because Todd Gurley played a great year. He did not play good in the Falcons this past year, but
he can't even score touchdowns, right?
Matt Ryan said to Todd Gurley, whatever you do not score a touchdown. He said, all right.
What do you think he did,
slide into the end zone.
This man fell right in.
Touchdown. All right. So we're talking about Carson Wentz, Jared Goff. We can't tell you if they're good or bad. What about Jameis Winston? What about Mitch Trubisky? Sam Darnold, Darryl. Who are they as quarterbacks? Who are they?
All right, so let me say this, right? Like when you're looking at the eye test, right? Sam Darnold and Mitchell Trubisky are just not good at football.
Okay.
They're just not good at football. There's not even much to say. They're just not good. Sam Darnold has not looked good, and Mitchell Trubisky has not looked good. I would say the most potential out of the three is Jameis Winston. He just needs to fix his interception problem. But the guy did have 30 touchdowns and 5,000 yards.
30 and 30, right?
Interceptions.
But he did have LASIK eye surgery because his eyes were so bad. He did say so. Maybe give him a chance. Give him a chance.
Yeah. So and you guys saw when he came in for some plays too. He clearly still has the deep ball ability. He has a tank. He has a tank. A cannon. A cannon. So
you think he has a cannon?
Jameis Winston has a lot of Jameis Winston is good. He just needs to fix the interception problem. Because when you're looking at the eye test, I just can't say that Mitchell Trubisky and Sam Darnold as good as Jameis Winston is. But Jameis Winston needs someone to guide him to not throw interceptions. And I think the sky's the limit.
I definitely agree. Out of the three, who would you want out of the three? Jameis?
Well, what?
Jameis.
I would want Jameis too. But so Sam Darnold can't even stay healthy. Cannot stay healthy. He's been injured every single year he's been in the NFL.
And he's
Joe
not good.
Flacco probably could have taken his starting job on the Jets. Sam Darnold is not that good. There's rumors about him coming to the Pats. Don't want him. No thanks. Not come to the AFC East rival. I don't want him. Darnold as a starter has been 13-25. Terrible. Trubisky as a starter went 29-21, and Jameis Winston went 28-42. Those are not good records, but out of them all.
Well,
Trubisky actually has the best record, but he's had the most around him.
Yeah.
Yes, Jameis Winston has had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and who was their tight end at the time?
For Trubisky, I think it was still Jimmy Graham.
No, for Jameis in Tampa 2 years ago.
Cameron Brate. And
O.J. Howard.
It was
O.J.
O.J.
Cameron Brate and O.J. Howard.
I thought they just drafted Cameron Brate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's just drafted.
Really?
No, Cameron Brate's been there for a while.
I thought he's old.
Cameron Brate's been there for a while.
Excuse my French.
No, Cameron Brate's pretty old.
So
he's old.
Really?
He's old.
Yeah, he's older.
He's
not old.
What?
Compared to NFL terms, he's old.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. To my knowledge, I'm pretty sure he's 27.
I believe
In my opinion, I would rather watch paint dry than watch any of these quarterbacks play football.
No, I'd rather Jameis.
Combined, in the 13 seasons, all of them have played football. How many interceptions, how many turnovers do you think they have? Darryl, give me a guess.
13 seasons?
I'd have to go 80-something.
Go ahead, Dom, what do you think?
136.
They have 204 turnovers combined.
I said 80
136.
Let alone
That's
Sam
crazy.
Darnold has 50 turnovers in just 3 years. But
who's this?
If you're asking me, I'm taking Jameis Winston because he has Sean Payton. If anyone's going to figure out Jameis Winston's problem, I think it's Sean Payton's play calling.
Are they going to have weapons? Who do they have? Emmanuel Sanders, Ted. Do they still have Ted Ginn?
They have Alvin Kamara. They have
Yes,
Michael
but
Thomas.
they have no money.
Are
They have no money.
we talking
They
about-
have.
are we talking about the
They have
Saints here?
no money.
Dude, you don't have to pay Jameis Winston right now. He's the worst quarterback
Yes,
in the last.
I think Jameis Winston can be good. Say these 2 years. After these 2 years, they're gonna have to pay Alvin Kamara, pay Michael Thomas.
And if he plays good, they're gonna have to pay him.
exactly,
But who's
then
saying
what's
he's
gonna
gonna
happen?
start? Who's even gonna say he start? They like Taysom Hill.
If Taysom Hill starts up with Jameis, if I'm Jameis, come to the pass.
Literally.
Come to the Patriots.
If anyone is gonna figure out Winston's
The
problem,
Pats
though,
don't
it's
want
definitely
Jameis
Sean Payton.
Winston.
Sean Payton loves creative play calls.
No, I agree.
He likes playing to the strengths of his players,
I
as you
agree.
saw in the NFC divisional round.
Yep. No, I definitely agree with that. But I think that Mitch Trubisky,
He's god awful.
no. Yeah.
He's terrible.
But I think potential-wise, Mitch Trubisky might have the most potential right under Jameis.
I have to disagree.
Right?
I disagree as well.
That's fair. That's fair.
Jameis has the most
Well,
potential.
if you're saying
I'm gonna
under
say
Jameis, I
Sam.
agree.
I'm gonna say Sam Darnold, Mitch Trubisky, Jameis Winston. He's gonna be right under Jameis because some throws that Mitch Trubisky makes are amazing. Amazing. He looks like he has
But at
game.
the same time,
They start off what,
Jameis
5-0?
Winston looks like
They
an
start off
amazing
5-0.
quarterback, and then he throws 4 picks.
They start off
game.
5-0.
Yeah,
Yeah. So basically, all
If
of them have a turnover problem.
If
with
Jameis, here's the thing.
That's what it comes
if
down to,
Mitch
Darryl.
Trubisky, if Sam
Exactly.
Darnold can stay healthy, he's gonna be a better quarterback. Mitch Trubisky can figure out the target and the completion percentage, he's gonna be a better quarterback. If Jameis Winston can figure out the turnovers, better quarterback. So the most likely, which is gonna happen first, is Jameis Winston with the turnovers, because he had the eye surgery. If his eyes were really that bad, couldn't see who was who. He's just lobbing it up. Then he should undoubtedly have the best 2021-2022 NFL season out of the 3. Correct?
That's
Fair?
it.
Who do you think? Daryl. Who do you think is supposed to have the best out of the 3?
Out of the 3, yeah, I have
That's
to
what
go
I said.
Jameis. And
yeah,
honestly,
Darryl, what's going on, dude?
yeah,
Excuse me. That's what I said.
I'm just kidding.
You said,
yeah.
That's what I said.
I was agreeing with you.
That wasn't an agree
I was
face.
agreeing with
He
you.
went,
He was like, what?
okay, we'll see. You
Well,
said
I'm
we'll
making
see.
the face because I'm making the face because they're not good at football. All 3 of them. So just the thought of them playing football.
Do you think
is
Sam Darnold's going to be the
but
starter?
If I
Or do you think Sam
Sam Darnold
Darnold...
sucks at football. I think he's the
I
worst.
think
think
they're
he's
one.
the
gonna-
worst at all 3.
Sam Darnold's
Do you
not
think
good.
do you think they're
Dude,
gonna
he
get,
hasn't even played 3 full seasons, and he has almost 50 turnovers.
do you think it's more likely that they're going to get Deshaun Watson? What's more likely, Deshaun Watson or Sam Darnold
Sam
as the
Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
as the Jets quarterback?
Yeah, Sam Darnold.
What's more likely, Sam
Sam
Darnold or Justin Fields? Or, excuse me, Zach Wilson.
Justin Fields.
Zach Wilson.
I think if the quarterbacks are there, you got to take him.
I saw that they could take Zach Wilson, let go of, I believe it was 2 offensive pieces and 2 defensive, bring in, I believe it was Nelson Aguilar, Allen Robinson, and Chris Carson. No, it was Todd Gurley. I forget where I saw it, but they looked like a great team with a young Zach Wilson. They brought in an offensive lineman. I can't remember the specifics. If I find it, I'll send it to you guys. We'll put it in. But they could be a good team if they put the weapons around. I think Sam Darnold could be a good quarterback, but he's not even on the field. We can't tell he's not on the
I
field.
don't think he's gonna be good for
He's
quarterback.
not good.
But he went
I don't
through
think- I don't think he's gonna be
3
good.
head coaches. He went through 3. He went to a different head coach, I believe, every year in the NFL. One of them, probably the worst of all time, Adam Gase. Terrible. He was on Miami when they were taken for Tua before. He's bad. He can't. That coach is so bad. Maybe Sam
but
was
see, my
Sam
only thing
Darnold
is-
faking
yeah.
the injury to not play from Adam Gase. He was so bad. Or do you think that Joe Flacco would start over Sam Darnold?
He was
this year?
faking the injury so he didn't have to go out there and throw 15 picks a year.
He might
Okay?
have to.
He
He might have
So-
to.
No, like my only thing about Sam Darnold, like, can you guys even show me any film of him being
Exactly.
good ever?
Exactly.
I'll recreate it right now.
So speaking of threats, we're gonna throw this back to the NBA.
Okay.
Do you think that the Jazz are the biggest threat in the
Okay.
West?
No. I'll go. No.
No.
Nope.
Healthy Donovan. Amazing. Mike Conley. Goated. Goated. should have been All-Star.
He's just
like
that
I said.
guy.
Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year candidate. What, 3 years in a row? 4 years in a row? LeBron James, playoff LeBron, is better than all three of them combined.
Ooh, Dom, I disagree, and I hate to disagree.
Excuse me.
What?
You think the Jazz are the biggest threats?
I don't think the Lakers are the biggest threat to the Jazz right now.
Who? What? Who? The
Everyone
Clippers?
always forgets about this one team. The LA Clippers are still here, dude.
Bro.
They have
that's fair,
Kawhi
that's
Leonard
fair.
and Paul George. Yes, Paul George played bad in the postseason last year.
Playoff P was hitting
Under
up.
the circumstances, no one knows what he
Backward.
was going through in the bubble, okay? So he's definitely not going to play that bad again.
They were posting on TikTok. We didn't know what they were going through.
I think Kawhi Leonard is going to go crazy this playoff and get his revenge back.
Okay.
Kawhi is not.
So
He's
Kawhi's
gross.
not-
You think it's
You can't
you think
even
it's
lie.
a better chance? So Lakers, Clippers, 7-game series, everyone's healthy. Who are you taking in that game 7?
Lakers.
Oh, you just said the Clippers.
Well, no. See,
But I'm saying the
no,
Clippers.
but see,
You're saying right now.
Yes.
under these circum-
I'm saying
yeah.
if you just said
I
if
agree,
everyone's
'cause-
healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So the
I'm
Lakers,
saying, I was saying right now.
the Lakers are 6-5 without Anthony Davis and 17-6
yeah, that's
with
where,
Anthony
That's
Davis.
where I was coming from. So
I apologize. Should let you finish.
2016. Yeah.
So LeBron barely played against the Jazz because they were not in it from the start. From the second quarter, it was a blowout. There was
They
no
weren't,
point.
yeah.
There was no point for him. They should just rest him for a little bit, depending on the schedule. If it's easy,
Because his
Rest
minutes are going to
LeBron.
start to rack up.
I don't even think that. Do you guys think they should be having an All-Star game or not?
No.
I don't think there's some point
We
to
probably
it.
should. We probably shouldn't. But no, we probably shouldn't. But I can understand where they're coming from. Like what everything going on, they just want to get the.
They
fans
wanna keep
something.
it-
How is
They
it?
have
How is
so
the
much
dunk
taken away.
contest going to be fun? Like the whole
No
point of-
fans.
The
No
whole
fans.
It can
The
still
whole
be
thing
fun.
about the dunk
Who's in the
contest
dunk
is
contest?
the
Did they
dunk
announce it?
contest participants thrive off the energy of the crowd. Like
So,
JJ
it depends,
Redick.
it depends how much energy the players bring.
No, I'm just kidding. He can't dunk.
I
He can't dunk.
was about to say,
No, but
what?
what's it called? So yeah, I agree. Like they should keep it as normal as possible. But there's so much going on just in the regular NBA, trying to keep it safe and everyone healthy. I don't think should be adding another week of special events where all these Okay, it's different. Say they definitely have more games throughout the week than the All-Star week, correct? Like normal games. But that's teams that are just with each other. Yes, they're traveling, but they're all with each other. They're all with each other. But when with the All-Star game, they're all coming from different teams. So they're coming
Super spreader.
playing in super spreader.
super
Yeah, but it's a super
spreader.
spreader game. They're all going to their teams, the All-Star team, the East and the West created teams. Then they're going back to their teams. So God forbid something happens, one of them catches it, they're going back. They're bringing it back to the team.
Now this stops the now this pushes back the playoffs.
Halt!
Pushes all this. Yeah.
Listen. Put me at commish. I'd handle it. So, Jazz biggest threats in the West right now. Are the Jazz biggest threats in the West?
No.
Will they be? Will they ever
Yeah,
be?
but one thing-
End of the season.
like-
End of the season. Will the Jazz ever
No,
be?
honestly, the Jazz have a lot of potential though, because like, one thing I think that's stopping them in this current league, you need dominant superstars, dominant superstars. Like, how you ever gonna beat the Lakers with LeBron and AD? And even if Anthony Davis isn't healthy, how you ever gonna beat Paul George and Kawhi Leonard if things are going well?
Oh,
and honestly, there's other teams too. I'd honestly pick over the Jazz if like in a 7-game series. I mean, we just saw what happened with Jamal Murray last year in versus the Jazz. Even though
Real
we're going
quick.
back and forth, so you never know.
you know how I remember last week when I said I don't see many teams beating the Celtics in a 7-game series? I apologize. I apologize.
I see every single team. being
I
that
see
way.
almost half of the teams in the East beating the Celtics. Listen, Robert Williams, give him some minutes. Let him shoot the rock a little bit. Get him going. Kemba Walker plays like Kemba. Cardiac Kemba with a step back from the mid-range. Saw that a few times. If that can happen, they can be a good team. But unless that happens,
that's a lot to ask for.
yeah. All right. So I think that is all for this week on DBD Sports Show. Give it a round of applause. Thank you, Dara, for joining us from home.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll see you guys
Thank
next
you,
week.
thank you.
Have a good one.